After being arrested at the end of Season 1 for concealing her Illyrian heritage, a genetically modified species banned from serving in Starfleet under Federation law, Commander Una Chin Riley faces a court-martial that could end her Starfleet career. Captain Pike travels to the Volterra Nebula to find Neera Ketoul, an Illyrian civil rights lawyer and Una's estranged friend, to represent her. Neera initially refuses, but ultimately takes the case, using the ensuing trial as a platform to challenge the Federation's hypocrisy and prejudice toward genetic modification. During the trial, the prosecution argues that Una deceived Starfleet by lying on her application and violated regulations by hiding her true identity. Neera counters that Starfleet's laws are discriminatory and that Una's record proves her integrity and dedication. Neera also exposes the hypocrisy of the system. Starfleet claims to value diversity, yet persecutes Illyrians for genetic modifications that were performed in childhood. Upon discovering how Starfleet learned of Una's status as an Illyrian, Neera reframes the entire issue. It turns out that Una herself was the one who revealed her status to Starfleet, and Neera argues that by seeking refuge within Starfleet, Una in fact claimed asylum. She appeals to the sense of morality of the judges and ultimately sways the court. The judges retroactively confer asylum upon Una, and she is acquitted and reinstated. The episode ends with Una and Neera reconciling, and with Pike and the crew celebrating her return. There's a running joke in Trek fandom, and I say joke, but there is actually a lot of truth to it, that the big spectacle episodes with tons of visual effects and space battles pale in comparison with the more philosophical episodes, often which we find are set in a courtroom. Ad Astra Per Aspera continues this tradition nicely with a wonderfully layered episode that explores big issues. The best science fiction is not an escape from the real world, but rather acts as a lens through which we can see that real world more clearly. The performances by the main cast, most especially Rebecca Romijn, are top-notch. We've always known she's capable of embodying a commanding presence, but this episode lets her be vulnerable in a way we haven't seen before. There's dignity, fear, and strength all wrapped up together. It's one of her best performances in the series, hands down. Similarly, every member of the guest cast shines in this episode. Melanie Scrofano puts in a great turn as Captain Marie Battelle, who, for the first time in the series, is given a truly meaty role as she represents Starfleet as the prosecution. Her boss, the thoroughly unpleasant Admiral Pasalk, is played with a quiet menace by Graham Somerville. He is a character you love to hate, pressing forward with the prosecution of Una, and ultimately Captain Pike himself with an unrelenting doggedness that only a Vulcan could embody. However, the true standout guest performance is by Yetide Badaki as Neera Ketoul. Every line she delivers has a razor-sharp precision, and yet there's so much emotion beneath it. This ranges from her zealousness in arguing for the rights of her fellow Illyrians, to her sadness and empathy as Una describes her childhood, and ultimately apologizes to Neera for the events that led to their estrangement. She conveys powerful emotions throughout the episode that had me mesmerized by her performance. Her chemistry with Romijn's Una gives the episode so much emotional depth. I truly believe that these two characters have the history that we're told is between them. And finally, what I truly admire about Ad Astra Per Aspera is how deftly it handles allegory, something that's core to Star Trek's DNA. The story of Una's trial for being genetically modified is, on the surface, about Starfleet regulations and Federation law. But beneath that, it's a clear and powerful allegory for real-world issues, particularly those surrounding being LGBTQ+, or more specifically trans, in a society that still demands conformity. The metaphor of being born different and having to hide that difference out of fear of persecution, it's not subtle, but it really shouldn't be. It's Star Trek doing what it does best, holding up a mirror to ourselves and challenging both us and our society to be better. By the end of the episode, when Una is finally accepted for who she is, not just tolerated, but celebrated, it feels genuinely uplifting. It's the kind of hope that Star Trek is built on. The dress uniforms. A gorgeous callback to the dress uniforms of the original series. All of our characters look extra sharp in these colorful, gold-trimmed costumes. Speaking of callbacks, the witness stand certainly looks familiar. Note the interface that the witness places their hand on. This very much looks like the same style of interface on the chairs used during hearings and trials during the original series, such as this scene from the episode Wolf in the Fold. Episode ratings are always relative to the rest of the episodes of the particular series, and in this case, Ad Astra Per Aspera isn't just one of the best episodes of Strange New Worlds, it's one of the absolute best episodes of the modern era of Star Trek. Therefore, after much deliberation, this episode will get a coveted 5-star rating from me, the first that I've given. Loved it, no notes, changed nothing.
Slavery was once legal. Apartheid was legal. Discrimination against people for how they worshipped, how they loved, their gender, color of their skin. All legal at one time or another. A law does not make something just. My client is only here because of who she is and because she felt she had no other choice than to hide that fact. Just like the millions before her who were forced to hide how they worshipped, how they loved, what they truly looked like, because it made others uncomfortable. Because it made others afraid.